Hello everyone, and welcome back to my NetHack Let's Play series. This is part 2 of a tourist game. So if you missed part 1, I highly recommend going back and checking out the that first part of this series, where we explored the first 2 floors of the dungeon. Before we get started, I just wanted to provide a little bit more information on a few things that happened in the part 1. And that would be just a little footnote about bear traps, because I did get caught in one in that last episode. Just a kind of weird coding quirk about bear traps. If you get stuck in one, you are actually more likely to free yourself from the bear trap by moving diagonally, and as opposed to going left or right or up or down. So if you're ever stuck in one, it's more efficient to move diagonally to try and get out if you can. And also, at one point in that episode, I used Elbereth to escape from a mimic. So I just wanted to touch on Elbereth for a second because I didn't really explain that, and it might seem like a weird mechanic for someone who's never seen it before. But if you engrave Elbereth on the ground or write it in the dust, it will cause monsters to flee. Certain monsters and monsters that aren't blind. There's a few exceptions. If you want to know more, and if you're going to continue playing NetHack, it's a pretty, I'd say it's a pretty important part of the game. Some people don't use it at all though, and some people just don't like using it and consider that as like a conduct. Actually, the hard fought server tracks it as a conduct, if that's the thing you're into. But yeah, essentially, if you engrave it in the dust or write it with a wand, it can get you out of some tough situations. And there's a lot of nuance to that. Performing actions while standing on a engraving can cause it to fade. Some engravings are permanent. In particular, if you attack off of Elbereth, it'll cause it to fade and give you an alignment penalty. So be careful of that. But you can stand on it for as long as you want, and monsters won't attack you in melee. If the monster has a ranged attack, they'll still use that against you. So, like I said, there's a few nuances to it, but that's just a little extra detail about that for you guys. But yeah, let's get this thing started, shall we? So, like I said, we explored the first 2 floors. We're still running on our stack of darts that we started with. We've only lost 3. We're down to 34, which is still a pretty good stockpile. We really want to find a decent melee weapon or like a stack of daggers or something, preferably both. For melee weapons, the tourist can get basic in almost everything. Unfortunately, the one thing they can't get basic in is the Aclease, which is a convenient range weapon for a lot of roles that can use clubs. If you're wielding it and then you throw it, it'll return to your hand, which is pretty nice. I'll probably be looking for scimitars, sabers, and short swords are pretty good weapons for tourists. I can get skilled or expert in all 3 of those. They're all decent weapons. Sabers will probably be hard to come by, because that's really just the silver saber. But scimitars are pretty common with like hill orcs and stuff. And dwarves and elves will drop short swords. So I'll probably keep an eye out for stuff like that. Unicorn horns you can also get skilled in. Decent weapon. It's two-handed though, which kind of has its own issues. If you have a two-handed weapon and it gets cursed, then that can be a problem. But yeah, so that's gonna be one of our goals coming up, and I'd like to continue to get our AC down. If we make it to the gnomish mines, that's usually a pretty good place to improve your AC, because dwarves tend to carry some pretty good armor. So yeah, we just descended the stairs to level 3. This is a gush of water hits Meatball's left foreleg, which I don't know if he's standing on it now or if he stepped on this. Well, this is a trap here with the human corpse. We talked about those last episode. I don't think a gush of water would, or that water trap would start with a corpse, so there's probably something else there. Use the terrain command. Oops, I used the wrong option. So yeah, there's a water trap below us. Let me search and see what trap is to our left. Oh my god, there's another one? Oh no, he stepped back onto it. I'm just picturing him like having fun in like a puddle or like a fountain or like a sprinkler or something. Okay, I can't. Oh, there it is. Another bear trap. And what item? Getting on. A chest? I'm just gonna walk onto that. I'm gonna unwield my dagger. So this will hit something. Yeah, I just lost AC. I don't know. I'll take it. We're gonna find better armor at some point. I don't care about the rust trap. I want to check for traps on the chest. Gonna do it a couple times. Let's try looting it. Use our credit card to unlock it. Alright, cool chest loot. We got another scroll, a potion of extra healing, and a copper ring. All good stuff. Clove of garlic and a blueberry muffin. Blueberry muffin is what I have my fruit name set to. By default, that would be called a slime mold. I just like to change the name every once in a while to keep things fun and interesting, and that's what it happens to be at the moment. Wow, some more good chest loot it seems like. Let's find out what these wands are. Again, we'll engrave test. It's like nothing happened, no message there. What wand did I use? I think that was the pine wand. Yeah. Pine, no message. If you ever have any questions about my naming scheme, feel free to ask. But I just said NM for no message there, which tells you a little bit about the wand. Try engraving with the uranium one. The bugs and the floor stop moving. So that's either a wand of sleep or a wand of death. It's probably sleep, since death is pretty rare. There's a few ways we could test that. We could try zapping it and just see what color the ray is. We can zap it at a monster and see what it is, or we could just identify it formally. We find a scroll or spell book. Sleep is a very useful thing to have. Oh, a gecko. We can kill us with our darts. I like to back up. We get at least one free attack on me if I move into that doorway before he can get out of his attack range. I was hoping my pet would help me kill him. I'm gonna go ahead and engrave Elbereth again here. When you're using Elbereth, it's good to use it before you're like one turn away from death. Alright, so that gecko ran. You hear someone cursing shoplifters. So audio cues are a big thing in NetHack. Well, you're not actually going to get sound from the game, but you'll get these messages that you hear something. They usually tell you about something on the level, like some kind of special room. So someone cursing shoplifters indicates there's a shop on this level. As I mentioned last episode, shops are pretty common on levels 2 and 3 and 4 and even down to like 5. So we're gonna find that shop. If it's not obvious when we explore the level, we don't find it, we're gonna start looking for secret doors that lead to the edges of the map, because that's where the shops typically are. I don't know where this gecko ran to, so I'm just gonna move up for now. Cat probably, or sorry, my dog probably just killed it. See it? So my pet just stepped onto that amulet. Well, I know it's not cursed. More specifically, stepped onto it without any message, so I know it's not cursed. Go ahead and put that on. Not an amulet of strangulation. Otherwise our throat would be constricted right now. It could still potentially be an amulet of restful sleep, so I'm going to remove it until I feel like I can test that more safely. But if I got put to sleep right here, it could be pretty dangerous for us. So this stair is yellow, which means it's a branch staircase. It means it goes to the mines, which are unfortunately dark. So it'd be nice to get a lamp or something before we go down there. We do not have infravision, which means we can't even see all the gnomes and dwarves that are wandering around in the dark. And we're neutral humans, so I think a lot of stuff down there is going to be hostile to us. If you're like a dwarf or a gnome, you have infravision, so you can see a lot of stuff in the dark, and a lot of the stuff down there would be neutral or peaceful to you. So it's usually a lot safer. But being human and no infravision, we're gonna wait till we're stronger to go down there. I'm gonna eat one of these cram rations. It's a yellow mold. I'm gonna throw darts at it to kill it. Molds have passive attacks, so if you hit them in melee, they can hurt you. Oh, we just hit level 2. I wasn't even notice that. So we got extra 7 HP from that. We're up to 17. It's a great buffer compared to the 10 we were at. Thanks for 18 Constitution, which I didn't even notice before. I guess we should have looked at our stats earlier. But yeah, 18 Constitution and 15 Charisma, which is interesting. That'll I'm gonna have to look up shop pricing, because tourists get a sucker tax when they're buying from shops. The shopkeepers like overcharge you. The 15, I don't know if that's base price or it might even be a discount, just because we're such a smooth talker, a charismatic individual. But yeah, 18 Constitution is pretty good. Hopefully we'll be able to get a decent amount of health that Constitution. Go ahead and try and kill this lichen with our dagger. Cool, we did it. How skill advancement works in this game: you go to the enhance menu, and you can see everything we have is at unskilled except for darts or basic that we started with. To go from unskilled to basic, you have to hit something 20 times with your weapon, and then to go from basic to skilled, you have to hit something 80 times, I believe. So we just want to hit things with our dagger to train it. And unskilled, we're going to miss a lot, especially being at a low level. So I'm going to attack like the more harmless things like lichens to try kind of train it. And then as we get it up to basic, we can hit other things. I'm going to pop down here again. Head right back up. There's probably not another room on the right side here. Might be one the upper middle here, maybe not. I'd like to find that shop. Probably gonna be on the left side of the map. I'm just gonna come down here real quick to see if there's a room. I just searched 20 turns and didn't find anything. The grid bugs here. Unless we can kill them with our dagger. One down. Meatball dispatched the other one. Cool, so that corpse rotted away, so you're able to see what was under it, and it was a food ration. And we know this is cursed because it spawned in one of those little, you know, dead adventurer trap indicators. We need a catchier name for that. I sometimes call them like mini bones files, but I feel like that's a little misleading too. So I'm just gonna note that as C for cursed. I just took an educated guess that there would be a door there, and there was. We can kill the newt with our dagger. We did. Some crossbow bolts there. Oh, a coyote. A little riskier. Kobold zombie. I'm gonna throw darts to try and kill these guys. I'm gonna stick with my +2 ones. Alright, I'm gonna back up, try to get some help from my pet. Looks like the coyote is dead. Kobold corpse. If you're a new player, just know that kobold corpses are poisonous, so don't try to eat them. Crude chainmail. Chainmail is a little better than ringmail. So this would be Orcish chainmail, which would be AC4. I have scale mail right now, which was AC4, but I stepped in that rust trap and it hit my chainmail or my scale mail and rusted it, so it's only giving me 3 AC right now. That wasn't a smart move. I did want to know what was in that chest. I think I might swap this out for that 1 point of AC. It's going to be a little heavier. Pet is hesitant to step onto it, so I'm going to say it's very likely that it's actually cursed. I'm just going to move on. And there, guaranteed cursed. Meatball steps reluctantly over a crude chainmail. So that's how you curse test items. Pretty big general store. With a... I've never seen an item standing... just sitting there in the first tile in a store. I don't know if random items can spawn in stores. There's a pretty good chance that that's a mimic. Definitely strange. I wanna back up. I'm gonna wait for the shopkeeper to move. Maybe he won't. I wanna throw a coin at it and test that. He's not gonna move. I think the shopkeepers can get angry if you throw coins at them. Sometimes I'm not paying attention when I'm testing for mimics by throwing coins. And I accidentally throw one at the shopkeeper. That can end your game. Let me just search here. Oh yeah, that's a mimic. I don't know if Meatball's strong enough to take that on. I feel like we can waste a lot of darts trying to kill that mimic. They have a decent little health pool, especially against darts, which I don't think do a lot of damage to large monsters, which I think mimics are. So, well, the small mimics are actually medium monsters. It would be large mimics and giant mimics are large, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I feel like we could end up throwing a lot of darts at them. I don't really want to do that. Let's see if there's anything in here maybe worth trying that for. I don't see anything too exciting here. Come back once we get a little bit more health or something. Uh-oh, a bat. Bats have ended many of the low-level adventurers games. So bats are pretty weak, but they have they can be hard to hit, especially if you're like not a good melee class, and they're faster than you, so you can't outrun them, and they also get a lot of attacks per turn. Or not, well yeah, because of their speed they tend to attack a lot, so they can be pretty dangerous. I don't know if it even... There we go, our pet's fighting it. Might have killed it. I threw a dart in there, but it didn't hit him, so the bat was just probably like wandering around. I walked into the rust trap again. Let's just go downstairs. We'll come back to this shop later. Oh! Is there another bat? Or is that the same one? I was moving a little too fast. If I would have known he was there, I could have prepared a little better. I'm just going to go ahead and engrave Elbereth right now. He turned to run. Maybe my pet will deal with him. Here's some noises. Cool. Thank you, Meatball. It's weird being so fearful of bats. Because if you run into them, you'll notice that, like, I don't know, maybe over half the time they're just like a pushover. You just like bump into them and they die. But they can also be pretty dangerous. Oh! Accidentally threw a dart at Meatball. Don't get in my way, dude. I'm gonna just go ahead and eat this jackal corpse for nutrition up. A note about eating corpses. It's slower than eating food, so I don't know. If you're playing for turns or something, it's generally not advised. That won't matter for most people. But corpses rot, so if one's been sitting there for a while, you don't want to try and eat it. Not only do they go rotten, they become tainted, which means that you can get food poisoning, which is an illness that is, it's basically a delayed insta-death. It's a very bad position to be in if you don't have an easy way to cure it. The dark room, I don't like. Yep, there's a giant rat. Back up into here and hope maybe my pet takes care of it. Probably a great way to run into this hit. It is destroyed. Must have been a kobold zombie. I just threw a dart at that gnome. I'm gonna go grab his dagger. Grabs. Ooh, see, we're running into encumbrance issues. What can we drop? There was an altar earlier on. Let me use the overview command. Yeah, so this is an altar on level 2. The books are the first thing I'd want to drop here. Followed by, I guess, my tin of jackal meat, which I'm never going to use, and then some potions. Kind of curious. I kind of want to go back up to that altar and curse test everything. Yeah, we can do it later. Let me go grab these daggers. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop these books by the stairs, which will free up some inventory space for us, or some weight, I should say. Let's first test these daggers, actually. Okay, they're not cursed because my pet walked over them with no message. I'm gonna use the adjust command to separate one of these daggers from the stack. So if I just do adjust 1T, move it to a new letter. And I'm gonna go ahead and wield that one. It's a little better than the crude dagger. And I'm gonna use that to fight things just because it's slightly better. Locked door, let's go ahead and open it. Search a few times, nothing there. Looks like a little bit of a small area over there for it to actually be another room. The dwarf zombie here, let's see if we can kill it. Poke our head downstairs, grab this gold, and head back up. Grab the gem, get my dart back. Undead corpses are always generated with like old. Like sometimes they're still safe to eat or sacrifice, but it's very rare. And you'll notice my pet didn't even go to eat that dwarf corpse like it normally would because it knows it's old. Pets love their food and they know when food's good and bad. 2 floating eyes. Floating eyes are pretty dangerous. They don't have an attack on their own, but they have a passive attack. So if you melee them, and it's a gaze attack, so being blind or having reflection will negate it. But they basically paralyze you for a potentially large amount of turns. So if you bump into one, which is pretty common, especially because they're on a color that's not doesn't exactly have great contrast with the background, or if you're just moving fast, like I tend to do, if you bump into one, you can get frozen, and there's a pretty good chance a random wandering monster will just walk up to you and kill you. So you gotta be very careful of them. My pet's probably gonna go ahead and attack one. Oh, maybe it won't. So another thing about floating eyes, though, I want to actually fight this in the room. Okay. What I'm trying to do is, their corpses are very valuable because they'll give you intrinsic telepathy if you eat them. Thing is, my dog's gonna try and eat the corpse before I can, and he's faster than me. So I want to. What is this? It's a jackal. Another floating eye? What the heck? This is so weird. I was gonna try and lock the dog in another room. So if any of these floating eyes drops a corpse, eat it. I actually shouldn't be wasting my +2 darts on these. I'm gonna start throwing these daggers. There's really no threat, these floating eyes. And then they'll just move off of your daggers. That. Be able to pick them back up and throw them again. On command. I want to name those ammo for the auto pickup. Oh, of course it restacked them. That's kind of annoying. What did I just call ammo? Oh, I called the dungeon level ammo? Whoops. Can you annotate, just erase that. Oh, cool. I didn't know you could, I wonder if that's new. It's new to me, at least. So, I don't know if you caught what just happened, but I was wielding all 4 of those daggers just because since I didn't have any in my inventory and I picked up new ones, it just added them to the stack again. And when I went to quiver them, it automatically split all but one off to its own inventory letter, so that I wasn't wielding them, and then they got added to my quiver because you can't do both. Sweet, there's a floating eye corpse here, so we're gonna go ahead and eat that. Floating eye corpse tastes okay. You finish eating the floating eye corpse, you feel a strange mental acuity. So yeah, that means we've got intrinsic telepathy. And what that means is when we're blind, we'll be able to see any monsters with minds on the map. So it's pretty much anything except for headless monsters and undead and like molds and stuff. But it is the vast majority of monsters, which is pretty useful. We need to find a towel or a blindfold to make good use of that. In a pinch, I could blind myself with my camera, and then cure it with this carrot, because carrots do cure blindness. That's kind of a, I don't know, an emergency thing in my mind. But we're going to keep our eyes out for blindfolds and towels, which you can wrap around your head to blind yourself. This looks like a good room to... Oh, I still didn't name my daggers. Name individual ammo. Now I'll auto pick those back up. I'm going to put on this oval amulet. I'm gonna wait for like, I don't know, 100 turns. Let me eat this lichen corpse. I don't know how many turns I actually waited for. Let me do another 50. Can I see that floating eye? Oh! Duh. This is an amulet of ESP. Which, oddly enough, also grants telepathy when worn. But it also gives you, so extrinsic telepathy, lets you see monsters within like a radius around you. Pretty big one too, even if you don't have direct line of sight to them. Again, just monsters with brains, I believe. So that's pretty sweet. So yeah, it's one way to identify it. It's actually a really useful amulet, in my opinion. And it also gives you the effect, if you wear it while blind, that intrinsic telepathy does. This orc's probably going to come around. It's actually a hobgoblin. Alright, I just threw... Oh wait, no, actually I did throw daggers at it at first. I meant to throw the darts, but I guess that works. We enhance our dagger skill yet? Not quite yet. Go ahead and throw daggers at this one. It's a goblin. Yep, easy to kill. Then I'll continue throwing daggers at this floating eye. Just because it's not really a threat. I'll see if I can wait for it to move. Go pick my daggers back up. Like I said, I'm just not going to waste any of my darts on them because they can break and they're kind of valuable until I get other decent weapons. So doors, you can't move diagonally into a doorway, so I'm going to close this and kick it down just so I can get past this floating eye faster. Go ahead and pick up these items. I'll continue throwing daggers at this thing. Cool, dead floating eye. A dog's probably frozen right now from attacking floating eye, if I had to guess. It might not be, I don't know. We can kill this one. Having that amulet of ESP makes the mines a little less threatening too, because we can actually see monsters around us. Okay, now I'll resort to my daggers. Or my darts, I mean. We've got sewer rats. Back up a little bit. Alright, cool. Get our daggers back. Looks like I'm hungry. Let's go ahead and eat a... Let's try opening this tin. Were rats? Heck no. So I'm just gonna eat one of these cram rations. I'm gonna search along this wall to see if I can find a door. Nothing. The same over here. Nothing. I have a feeling there's another room over there. I didn't notice, but it looks like we did turn level 3 probably a little while ago. It's a little easier to miss messages sometimes with this curses layout too, even though there's more there, but they're not as like in your face for some reason. They just kind of slide away. Well, I'm not gonna bother searching too badly for another room over there on the right. I can use a scroll magic mapping. Probably honestly don't use them enough. You may as well just use them. Actually, you know what I should save them for is for those mines levels. We can get through the dark mines levels pretty easily with those. Between those and the amulet of ESP, I would be pretty comfortable on the mines level, so that's what we're going to save them for. But yeah, let's go down these stairs. I do want to go to the mine soon, especially maybe we can get some more armor there by killing some dwarves. But I still feel pretty weak. Our HP pool, we got another 6 HP from our last level. I'd like to get that a little higher, maybe to around 40 or something before we start exploring the mines. But I do think we can probably navigate the mines not too bad. And I'd like to get our 2 hit up, so maybe we can enhance our dart skill or something would be nice. I think we'll have trouble against any heavily armored dwarves we could run into. So the ones that we really want to kill, because they have the good armor. Although our pet will be able to deal with them pretty well, better than us. So, I don't know, I'm going to explore some more before actually going down into the mines. But I do want to get down there, and I think between our Scrolls of Magic mapping and that Amulet of ESP, we'll be pretty comfortable down there. We're pretty much at time right now, so I'm going to call it here. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys next time.